Welcome to Conversations for Self. My name is Simona, and here is where I share my personal experience and my journey with healing heartbreak and emotional trauma. Emotional intelligence is what we are going to be discussing today. And emotional intelligence is very important and is very key in order to living a happy and successful life. Emotional intelligence is where we possess the ability and we are enabled to control and own our own thoughts and emotions and our feelings. So often, when we're in discussion of someone who has wronged us in any kind of way, we revert to the phrase, well, you made me feel, or you made me do this, or you made me behave in this certain way. And when we are allowing other people to control our emotions, then they then are able to take control of our thoughts. And we then are put in a position to where we are reacting instead of responding. It comes from a primal place, and it doesn't come from a place of a well thought out logic or a well thought out reply. And again, it comes from a place of hurt and pain. So then we've allowed this person to take control of our emotions and our thoughts, which then just takes control of our lives, because then we're upset, we're sad, we're mad, we're hurt, and then that pours out into our interactions with our children, our loved ones, our co-workers. It affects just our entire day and our entire mood. So emotional intelligence is, of course, where we learn to own our emotions and where we learn that our emotions are ours, no matter how someone caused us to feel, no matter what is done to us, no matter how we're treated, how we're spoken to, how we're accepted, how we're rejected. Our emotions are ours and our responsibility to handle. Emotional intelligence is a skill that takes practice, and it, again, like anything else I have talked about along your healing journey, my healing journey, our healing journey, is just reprogramming. It's reprogramming things that we've learned. It's reprogramming our emotional response. It's reprogramming, again, just taking control of ourselves and our lives and not allowing ourselves to be taken there, dragged there, sent there. Just, again, controlling our peace. So, one thing that I had to definitely learn to do was walk myself back whenever I was upset by someone's actions or words, and just to gradually just ease and douse that burning sensation that you get in your chest when you get upset. But just to douse that first. And the reaction would be to be defensive. And in being defensive, you say things just out of emotion and say things that are meant to hurt instead of staying on the facts of the situation at hand. Um, so being able to first walk back that initial um, reaction, that reaction, intense heat that you feel coming over your body and your chest, and those thoughts that start racing. Take control of that first. And then once you learn to walk that back, then you're just going to have to step away. Once you walk that back, step away, cool down, and then come back. Once you're able to calm down and then come back, then you can come back with a clearer head. And as you're practicing becoming more emotionally intelligent, then you will be able to then respond in the moment and not necessarily have to walk away and come back, because you're able to hold on to your peace no matter what is going on around you, no matter what is being said or done. You're going to be able to hold on to your peace. Of course, there are going to be situations where it's going to require a reaction, but of course, those are going to be few and far in between. Again, emotional intelligence also means getting in touch with your emotions. When you're having those negative emotions, sitting with those emotions, getting alone. And again, I always stress how important alone time is, because alone time is where you learn yourself and where you learn who you are, and you learn what you like, what you don't like, what you will accept and what you won't accept, what you will and will not allow. So in that alone time that you have, you reflect on things. That's when you reflect on those negative emotions and reflect on, well, why am I feeling this way in response to this? Why am I having such a negative reaction to this person? What is it that is going on within me that is responding? What is this person standing in for? What trauma are they representative of in my life? So again, alone time, getting comfortable with your emotions. That's something that I ran from, and I'm sure that's something that that most humans run from. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We don't like to dwell in discomfort, and emotions are just one of those things that we weren't necessarily taught how to handle and process correctly. But that's no fault of our parents, because again, when we're talking about generations of how things were handled and how it was handed down, that these are techniques, and these are lessons that we're learning on the back end. And again, it is a relearning, and it is a reparenting and a retraining ourselves and our thoughts. So usually, speaking of thoughts, is usually not even what has been done to us or what has been said to us. It's what we think of it. It's the thought that we have put behind it, the thought that we have attached to it, that causes the emotion. So whatever your beliefs are is what you become. Whatever your thoughts are is what you become, because your thoughts promote feelings, and your feelings promote your internal temperature, which then affects the atmosphere around you. Again, whether that is at home or at work, romantic, friends, again, in any and all situations, it is your thoughts. It is your thoughts. So again, emotional intelligence gives you the ability to control your thoughts and control your emotions and control your responses, and to reel in those reactions to certain things, places, people, situations. So getting comfortable with your emotions, learning your emotions, learning what your emotions are attempting to tell you. Just always that conversation with self. And again, that's why I call it Conversations for Self, because these are your thoughts. These are absolutely your thoughts. These are the beliefs that you're reinforcing by repeating them to yourself. These are the emotions that you're reinforcing by rehearsing them to yourself in your mind. So the conversation with yourself has to change. It has to change to be a more positive and a more controlled response and pattern. So again, when I talk about getting acquainted with your emotions, that is going to be like the number one tool to healing. and just to understanding, um, again, just where it's coming from, where it is coming from. You've got to walk yourself back. Because it is only, it's only the branch of the tree. We're seeing the representation of what's going on in the root. So when we're pruning back and we're peeling back the layers, we have to start, okay, well, this is the reaction. Okay, and why are we having this reaction? And then after we're, okay, this is why we're having this reaction. And then it's what trauma, what event, what life event cemented this for me in my subconscious, to where that is my go-to and that is my fallback on. So you're going from the branches to the trunk to the roots. So you have to get all the way back to the root of the problem, the cause. Where did we pick up this information? Where did we absorb this into the core of who we are? So emotional intelligence is very necessary. It is definitely the biggest part of emotional healing. But again, just getting to the point where we are responding instead of reacting, and getting to the point where you're able to hold on to your peace no matter what. And it does take practice. It takes practice. It takes walking yourself back. But you definitely want to become emotionally intelligent, to where you understand why you're having a feeling before it grows, and you understand what the triggers are. And again, you just get to a place where you're just peaceful, and it just remains peaceful and happy and content. And once you become emotionally intelligent, then you control your life. You control how you feel. You control the outcome. You have total control. Once you become emotionally intelligent, no one can take you out of your peace or your happiness unless you allow them. So take control of your emotions, learn them, get to know them, understand them. Just dive uncomfortably deep into self, and have those conversations for self, with self. Because self-love and emotional healing, emotional intelligence are very necessary for a happy, whole, fulfilled, successful, amazing life.